Earth spins on its axis. The axis runs through the Earth's center from the North Pole to the South Pole. The Earth's axis is tilted at 23.5 degrees. The rotation of the Earth on its axis causes day and night. It rotates in 24 hours, which is one day. At any point in time, one side of the Earth facing the sun has day, while the other side away from the sun has night. As the Earth rotates, evening, night, dawn, morning, day, and midday are experienced in different places at the same time. The revolution of the Earth around the sun causes the years and the seasons. The Earth revolves in 1 year, which is 365.25 days. The tilt of the Earth at 23.5 degrees, along with the revolution around the sun, causes the seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter, as well as the length of day and night to be different at certain times of the year. As the Earth revolves around the sun, the part tilted towards the sun has summer, while the part tilted away from the sun has winter. Parts of the Earth has spring, summer, autumn, and winter at different times. The Earth has two movements at the same time. It rotates and it revolves. It rotates on its axis and revolves around the sun at the same time. Its rotation causes day and night, and its revolution causes the seasons and the year. I have two diagrams here. The diagram on top shows the revolution of the planets around the sun, shows the planets as they revolve around the sun. And remember, the revolution of the planets around the sun causes the year and the seasons. The picture at the bottom shows the rotation of the planet Earth, shows the rotation of planet Earth on its axis. The diagram at the bottom shows the rotation of planet Earth on its axis. And remember, the rotation causes day and night. And remember, the rotation of the planet causes day and night. Because of the Earth's tilt at 23.5 degrees, some places, especially those near the North and South poles, get sunlight almost all the time or almost none at all at certain times of the year, as they are tilted towards or away from the sun for days, weeks, or months at a time. Some places have sunlight even at night, and some places have darkness even in the days. They may experience about 24 hours or 6 months of sunlight or darkness. Some places in the center of the earth, near or at the equator, such as the Caribbean, have about 12 hours of daylight and about 12 hours of darkness throughout the year, with only very slight differences certain times during the year. Different times of the year may be slightly chilly or hotter, or the length of the day or night may be slightly longer or shorter, or just about an hour or even minutes. So certain places in the earth will experience anywhere from about 24 hours or 1 day, anywhere from about 24 hours to 6 months, anywhere from between 24 hours to 6 months of darkness or sunlight non-stop, darkness non-stop or sunlight non-stop throughout the year, depending on if they are tilted towards or away from the sun, if they are near the poles. So places near the poles may experience between 24 hours, somewhere between 24 hours to 6 months of total darkness or total light during the year. As for places such as the Caribbean, which are situated at or near the equator, those places do not have much difference in the length of day and night. The length of day and night is generally about 12 hours for day and 12 hours for night, or it's generally about 12 hours of light and 12 hours of darkness for places near to or at the equator. There may be slight differences of just about a few minutes of daylight or nighttime, or maybe just about 1 hour at the most difference. But generally, for places like the Caribbean that are at or near the equator, we have light and darkness of about 12 hours each day. Continuing, the longest day and shortest night in the northern hemisphere is called the summer solstices, and the longest day and shortest night in the southern hemisphere is called the winter solstices. Day and night, 12 hours long each, are called equinoxes. The summer solstices occurs on June 21, and the winter solstices occurs on December 22. So you will have longer days and shorter days at different times of the year because of the tilt of the Earth's axis at 23.5 degrees. So being that some places will have light all the time, so for some times of the year, or darkness all the time for some times of the year, you also have longer days and shorter days, and longer nights and shorter nights. Days and nights meaning light and darkness. Day would be when you have light, darkness would be when you have nights. So day would be when you have light, and darkness would be when you have night. So some of the days will be, some times of the year will have more than 12 hours of light. Some times of the year will have less than 12 hours of light. Sometimes of the year you have more than 12 hours of darkness. Sometimes of the year you have less than 12 hours of darkness. Continuing. While the northern hemisphere experiences summer, the southern hemisphere experiences winter, as they are both located on opposite sides of the earth. And while one side is tilted towards the sun, the other side is tilted away from the sun. So while the northern hemisphere experiences summer, the southern hemisphere experiences winter, as they are both located on opposite sides of the earth. And while one is tilted towards the sun, the other side is tilted away from the sun. Here I have two diagrams also. I have two diagrams. The diagram on the top shows the difference, or clearly outlines the northern hemisphere, of which Jamaica would be more a part of, and it shows the southern hemisphere separate. So you have the northern hemisphere on top and the southern hemisphere at the bottom. For the diagram at the bottom, it shows how the earth gets its seasons, winter and summer, due to the tilt of the earth. So the diagram at the bottom shows how the earth gets its seasons, winter, summer, autumn and spring, due to the tilt of the earth at 23.5 degrees and its rotation around the sun and its revolution around the sun. Lines of latitude are imaginary lines drawn on a map that help us to locate places on the earth using the map. So imaginary means they are not real. So you won't go anywhere and actually see a line of latitude. They are actually just drawn on a map so that you can get help with knowing where places are located. So lines of latitude are just drawn on a map to help people to locate places. So lines of latitude are imaginary lines drawn on. So lines of latitude are imaginary lines drawn on a map that help us to locate places on the earth using the map. Lines of latitude run horizontally across from east to west. They tell the climate of a place. The latitude of a place is determined by its location north or south of the equator. The equator is 0 degrees and is the longest line of latitude. It is the most important line of latitude and is the only line of latitude which is called a great circle. Lines of latitude get smaller as they get nearer and nearer to the poles. The poles are just dots. They are numbered from 0 degrees at the equator to 90 degrees at north and south poles. The equator divides the earth into the northern and southern hemispheres. The equator is the most important line of latitude. Other important lines of latitude are the Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degrees north of the equator. The Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degrees south of the equator. The Arctic Circle. The Arctic Circle is located at 66.5 degrees north of the equator. And the Antarctic Circle, 66.5 degrees south of the equator. Here I have two diagrams also. The top diagram shows the different important lines of latitude. It shows the equator at 0 degrees. It also shows the Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degrees north. It also shows the Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degrees south. It doesn't show the Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle in this diagram, but the diagram below shows it. The diagram below also shows the important lines of latitude. It shows the equator, it shows the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, the Arctic Circle, and the Antarctic Circle. It shows where they are located. It doesn't tell the degrees, but it shows the approximate location of where those lines of latitude are. Here we have the major lines of latitude. The major lines of latitude. We have the equator at 0 degrees. We have the Tropic of Cancer at 23 degrees north or 23.5 degrees north. We have the Tropic of Capricorn at 23 degrees south or 23.5 degrees south. We have the Arctic Circle at 66 degrees north or 66.5 degrees north. And we have the Antarctic Circle at 66 degrees south or 66.5 degrees south. Lines of longitude are imaginary lines running vertically from north to south on a map. Places are determined by their location east or west of the prime meridian. The prime meridian is the most important line of longitude. The prime meridian is located at Greenwich, which is a place in Britain. Lines of longitude are numbered from 0 degrees to 180 degrees, both east and west. Lines of longitude add up to 360 degrees, a complete circle. Each line of longitude is a great circle. Lines of longitude do not get smaller as lines of latitude do. The longitude of a place determines the time of day at that place. Greenwich is at 0 degrees. The earth rotates towards the east in an eastward direction. Places to the east, therefore, are ahead of time than places to the west. For example, it would be 11 o'clock at a place in the east before it is 11 o'clock at a place in the west. The earth is divided into 24 time zones, one zone for each hour of the day, as there are 24 hours in a day. When you do the math, 360 divided by 24 is equal to 15. Therefore, every 15 degrees is another time zone. Also, therefore, every 15 degrees is 1 hour. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour. Doing the math again, 60 divided by 15 is equal to 4. Therefore, each 1 degree is 4 minutes. Example: if the time at Greenwich is 12 noon, what time is it at a place 46 degrees? Doing the math, Greenwich is 0 degrees. 46 degrees is 46 divided by 15, which is equal to 3 remain 1. That's 3 hours for the set of 315 degrees and 4 minutes for the remaining 1 degree. So that's 3 hours and 4 minutes. Add 3 hours and 4 minutes to 12 o'clock. 0:00, that's for 12 o'clock, plus 3:04, that's for the 3 hours and 4 minutes, is equal to 3:04 p.m. So again, 0:00 plus 3.04 is equal to 3:04 p.m. or 0:00 is plus 00:00 plus 3:04 is equal to 3:04 p.m. Another example: if it is 12 noon at Greenwich, what time would it be at a place 46 degrees west? West would be opposite of east. Therefore, the operation would be opposite to the previous example. Subtract. This time you don't add, you subtract. This time you don't add, you subtract. So, subtract 3 hours and 4 minutes from 12 noon instead. That would be 12:00 for 12 noon minus 3:04 for the 3 hours and 4 minutes. So 12 o'clock minus 3:04. So 12:00 minus 3:04. So 12:00 minus 3:04 is equal to 8:56 a.m. 8:56 a.m. So the time at 46 degrees west would be 8:56 a.m. The international dateline is an imaginary line on maps of at 180 degrees both east and west of Greenwich. So the international dateline is an imaginary line on maps at 180 degrees both east and west of Greenwich. If a traveler crosses this line, he loses or gains a day, depending on whether he is going towards the east or the west. If he is traveling from east to west, a day is lost. For example, Saturday the 15th becomes a Sunday the 16th. Likewise, if a person is traveling from west to east, a day would be gained if he crosses this line. Saturday the 15th would become Friday the 14th. Here we have some diagrams. We have 6 diagrams here. They show the lines of longitude. The lines of longitude. Okay, so in the first diagram, you can see where the North Pole would be located, and the equator would be in the middle of the Earth, and Greenwich would be right there in the middle. The second diagram shows the prime meridian, which is Greenwich. The prime meridian is where Greenwich is located at 0 degrees. So the prime meridian is at 0 degrees. The prime meridian at 0 degrees, and it shows the other degrees beside it: 20 degrees, 40 degrees, 60, 80, and 90 degrees east and west of the prime meridian. And remember that the prime meridian is located at Greenwich, which is a place in England or Britain. Which is a place in England or Britain. The third diagram shows both the lines of longitude as well as the lines of latitude. So this one will give you an idea of both of them come together, how the map looks. So you see the lines of longitude and the lines of latitude crossing each other. And there's the prime meridian at 0 degrees. The fourth diagram at the bottom shows the important lines of latitude, as well as the prime meridian. So you compare them against each other. So you see the prime meridian there in the middle, and it shows running across from it. You have the equator, the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, the Arctic Circle, the Antarctic Circle, the North Pole, and the South Pole. And it also gives you an idea where the international dateline is. Also, in the fifth diagram beside it, you can see Greenwich, where Greenwich would be located in comparison to the north, south, east, and west direction. And in the final diagram beside this one, you can see the different lines of longitude, starting with the prime meridian at Greenwich in England at 0 degrees, and it shows other lines of longitude beside it, east and west of it, east and west of the prime meridian. Here I have two more diagrams. These show the prime meridian versus the international dateline. The prime meridian is at 0 degrees and the international dateline is at 180 degrees. Receive 50 GSAT past papers and practice tests, 10 from each of the 5 GSAT subjects: mathematics, language arts, communication tasks, science, and social studies, with worked out and explained answers by email for only $4,000. For free samples, then you decide if you want past papers by email, telephone 353-4752, or email me at jamaicaislandswidelink@yahoo.com. My telephone number 353-4752 uses WhatsApp, so if you like, you can correspond with me via WhatsApp. Thank you. And don't forget that these GSAT tests are also suitable for primary exit profile, PEP. Subscribe to my channel to get updates of new videos that are available on YouTube as soon as they become available. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's free. Like and subscribe, and also you're invited to share my videos. So when you subscribe, when I upload a video, for instance, if the video you are watching is Social Studies Part 2, when I upload Social Studies Part 3, you will get a notification on your computer right away that I have uploaded Social Studies Part 3, and you can go ahead and see the video. So go ahead, click that subscribe button right now. Thank you for watching. You should watch these GSAT videos over and over again until you know them from memory. Repetition is important. You can always message me if you have any questions or need further help using my email address, my Facebook page, or the telephone numbers that are shown on the screen. So bye bye for now. Bye bye.